All right. Welcome back to my channel. I want to, in a very special way, welcome you all, my viewers, wherever you are watching me from. I welcome you back to my channel. Today is another great day that we'll be learning new things from where we stop. Meanwhile, I would like to welcome officially the new members in our midst. If this is your first time of coming to my channel, please, I would like you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. I want to, in a very special way, welcome you once again. And today, being the fourth day of our class, we'll be discussing about Zoom tool. Zoom tool. Of course, the last class we had, we talked about things that has to do with crop, of course, and knife, virtual segment delete, and eraser. So today we are continuing with the tool called Zoom tool. Like I always remind us of something, it will be very, very important for us to pay full attention to this toolbox, as this toolbox is one of the most important active bar in CorelDraw. Of course, what I mean by that is without this toolbox, of course, no design can be done. We can't achieve any design. So it is good we know the tool itself, know their uses, how to use it, when to use it, how to apply them while designing. And I would still like to remind us of something. We shouldn't be in rush to start designing. I know one will be asking, when can we start doing design? So I'm taking this my time to actually explore all these toolbox so as to carry everyone along when we start the design proper. So I'd just like us to have that patience, and let's continue with learning of the toolbox. So today we are continuing with the Zoom, which is our day 4 class. And let's see what Zoom is all about. Zoom tool is where we change the magnification level of the document window. Now, everything that has to do with Zoom is something as in magnifying, making something to be large. Anything that has to do with Zoom is enlarging, increasing. Okay? Anything that has to do with Zoom has to do with just increasing. All right? Now, let's see what we have. Once I click on the Zoom, of course, each and every item here under this toolbox has a black arrow by the down right side of it. So once you left click and hold, of course, it will explore the remaining one. So the first one we have is Zoom, and after the Zoom, you see a shortcut Z, meaning once you tap Z in your keyboard, it picks that tool automatically. All right, it picks that tool automatically. And remember, anything you pick from here, of course, one other thing that makes you a good graphic artist is shortcuts. But I wouldn't like us to dwell on it much, because let's first of all get what the toolbox is all about. Then we can now begin to talk about shortcut keys and how to apply them. All right. Okay, now once you click on the first thing we have here, which is Zoom, you will discover that the property bar has changed totally to things that has to do with Zoom. Of course, when we see this Zoom level here, they say specify a magnification level. Of course, they are trying to tell you that you should give an accurate percent of how you want this to zoom. Now, this is 29. You can explore and see like 75, 100 and co, right? And you can equally type in the number of zoom percent you want. Okay, now the idea here is just like I said, to zoom, to enlarge something so as you can see it very, very clear. Now the mouse, now once you pick this zoom tool, you discover that the mouse has a plus sign on it. So anywhere you point the mouse and left click on it, it will particularly focus on that particular area and zoom that area. Now if I center it on this first zero in this zoom, you discover it will keep on increasing that very point where I have that zero, right? Now if you are to zoom in, you left click. Using mouse, you left click and it will continue zooming in. And if you are to zoom out, you right click. Can you see what is happening? It's now bringing back the plus sign because I just right click on my mouse. So if I left click, it will zoom in, and if I right click, it will zoom out. Okay. Now another way of zooming in or out is going through the property bar. I remind us of something concerning property bar, that property bar is all about giving you the full function on what you picked from the toolbox. Okay, so I can, of course, from here pick the continue pressing the plus sign or continue pressing the minus sign. Now one will ask, why pressing this plus or minus sign when we know we can easily do it using the mouse, either by pressing the left or by pressing the right. Okay, so that is all about the zoom. Now in a situation whereby you are working and at some point you discover that you keep on zooming where no object or text is being displayed, and you keep on zooming, and you discover that what you are working on, you can't find it again, and you don't even know how to use your scrolling bar, either the horizontal or vertical, to bring back what you are doing. The idea here now is for you to be calm, not worry, because if you go through the property bar and point where we have that zoom level, just click on it. There is something written there. We have to fit, we have to selected, we have to page, we have to width, we have to height and co. So only what you need to do, of course, you are working on a page, a particular page where your text or or object is being displayed. So what just you need to do is to click on to page. Anywhere that document is hidden, it will automatically bring it back. That is one interesting part of this. Now in a situation whereby you still did same thing like that and you can't find your, and without picking the zoom tool. Now this is what another interesting thing about this, the standard bar. When I was introducing to us the active bars, and I was telling us that standard bar is the shortcut to menu bar, right? In a situation whereby I use my mouse to be increasing and at some point I can't find the my working area again. I can't find my text. I can't find where what I'm doing is. Now the question now is, must you pick the zoom tool to equal to actually bring it back to page? The answer is no. And that is the reason why, as we keep on discussing about this toolbox, of course we'll be attaching it with some of these active bars at the proper time. So now you remember we have title bar, menu bar, standard bar, property bar, like that. Now you point to standard bar, you come to see where we have what, zoom level. Remember that same zoom level you were seeing when you picked the zoom tool, and the property bar changes to zoom level, right? So this one now is permanently placed under the standard bar. Of course, we are seeing it. And I told us one interesting part of this CorelDraw is, once you point at a place, it will equally give you the name of what you are, where you are, and maybe the description or the meaning of where you are or where your mouse is pointing. So once I pop down this arrow, you discover that that very thing I was seeing under the property bar is exactly what is here. So that means to bring back the missing page, I'll just click on to page. Anywhere is hidden, it comes back. So that is one interesting thing about the standard bar. Okay, so you need not to go back to your zoom and pick the zoom, and maybe the work has disappeared and you need to pick the zoom and the zoom tool and still go back to property bar and click onto page, whereas you can equally get it easily from this your standard bar. Okay, I believe this is very, very clear to us. Okay, so the next we have is the pan. Of course, the pan, if you see the shortcut using your keyboard, is just hit. Of course, like I told us, we will still come back to this shortcut. Okay, we will still come back to this shortcut. Meanwhile, I would still like to welcome the first timers here. This is a CorelDraw tutorial class, and I would like you to please like this page, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to see subsequent videos that I'll be posting. Alright, so let's continue now. The next one we have is the pan. Of course, the shortcut is H. You will see a hand, something like a hand, five hand. Okay, it means it works like zoom, but though different from zoom. All right, so this now means, let's assume you are working two different places, like you are working here, maybe a rectangle is here, you're working here, and a circle is here, you are working here, and another thing is here, and it's just occupied, and you just want to be doing them one after another. Okay, after zooming, now I've zoomed. Of course, I remember that I have a rectangle here, I have a circle here, and I have this other shape, this polygonal shape here, right? And I really want to be working on these four items, including this um my text. Now, once I pick the pan, watch what pan does. Pan will only help you while it's still on zoom. Pan will only help you to drag, that is, to drag it instead of, now what this pan is doing, pan has actually reduced that stress of you going through your scrolling bar, either to scroll from here, or to scroll from here, or to scroll either up or down. Pan will just help you. Of course, either you go there, pick it, or you press H and it brings it out. It will just help you to move over to the next available object or text that you may want to work with. Okay, so you can see this, you discover the same thing. So exactly what pan does is just to help you move the page around where your text or around where your object is. All right, now this is exactly what the pan can do. Of course, remember what I said concerning the zoom, right? Zoom is to enlarge, to increase. Let's assume I really want to see, I want to focus on only this polygonal shape. So I can left click and hold it and zoom only that particular page. Of course, this is what zoom can do. If you still want to zoom more, you keep pressing, it keeps coming, zooming more, right? And the interesting part of it is, if you want to see your total page the way it is, of course, if the zoom is still active, you can still go through this property bar and click onto page. And if it is not active, you can still go through the standard bar and click onto page. Meanwhile, another way is the mouse we have, it has the left click and the right click, while the center in between the left and the right has something like scroll, something like a ball that you can actually scroll around. So if you have such kind of mouse that has that center button where you can scroll, of course you discover and you agree with me that you don't just need the zoom, and even the pan itself, you don't need it, but we still need to do the class so that you know what the zoom is all about and you know their functions. I believe we've understand what zoom is, and we've actually understand what pan is. Okay, and I would still like to thank you for viewing this channel. Please, you can still like, you can still comment, you can still subscribe, and equally turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. Thank you and remain blessed.